Hey, what's up, guys, and welcome to the fourth episode of Battle of Fates. My name is Brendy. We had recorded a intro for this, but sadly, the audio is a little bit annoying and staticky, so I cut it out. For now, we'll go with a voiceover for this episode, and we'll try to work on it for future episodes. But today we have a good feature match of a couple of the Vingolf 3 cards that were recently released. Obviously, we don't have any copies because they're kind of hard to get hands on right now, but we did make proxies for the video, and that seems to suffice. So Sean's going to be piloting one of Gerds' lists for Val 1.0. In his list, he's going to be featuring the new Triton, which has the ability to take control of resonators, and it can manipulate the end of turn step, just as Dance of Shadows does, by using Val 1's ability to sneak him in. And then we also have Kaguya, which has recently been released as well, who can tap to create a 1/1 blue rabbit creature token, or resonator, I should say, and it'll get buffs from a lot of the things that work with it in the deck, such as Shangri-La and Titania. On the other side, we have Lane playing Ascended Pricia. His main feature in the deck is that he is playing the new Resonance Pricia, Pricia Wildchild. It gets a couple counters, and because he's playing only Windstones to some effect in the deck, Pricia is going to get a counter anytime he calls a stone, which is really nice. On top of that, the new Ascended Pricia still shares the name of the old Pricia, and therefore will give Pricia Wildchild her effective +1/+1 when she enters with a precision as well, so that's not bad. Having said that, let's move into some games. Okay, so here we're actually deciding who's going to be on the play. We've got a couple of basic lands from Magic, one of each, similar to yeah, see, Lane's going to show you he's putting a plains down there. Similar to Force of Will, there's 5 different colors in the wheel, as you can see on the top of the Magic card there. There's white, green, black, red, and blue. So Sean's guess is to pick which land Lane has set down, and he has 2 tries to do so. So he's going to guess Mountain first and not get it. And then Sean's going to guess Forest, and yep, Lane has duped him. So Lane looks like he's going to be on the play here. Alright, I'm going to draw our opening hands. Alright, they had recorded what they were saying about their opening hands, but I believe Lane's hand looks pretty good here. He's going to probably pitch a Kinlong because he doesn't want 2 of them, and he'll likely keep the others. Maybe he doesn't want the sprint. I didn't see that. Yeah, he's probably going to put the sprint down instead of the Kinlong. Okay, so yeah, he puts the sprint down. And I'm looking at Sean's hand. That is, oh. Yeah, I remember seeing this, and that was pretty awful. So he's got a couple of the new cards that are featured that I actually did not realize he was playing. Thrufnir, I'll probably put a picture in right here. And it is a 6/6 resonator that when it enters cancels a resonator spell. So it's kind of neat. It's reminiscent of a lot of cards from other card games that I'm familiar with, and I like it. It's a little bit hefty though in terms of cost. Lane redrew a Juquai, which is very good for his aggressive deck, and it looks like Sean kept a Big Daddy. Oh no, he pitched it. Never mind. So he redrew some stuff. Wow, they both have Uber Pricias. What is this? Okay, so Sean's hand looks like he's got a nice curve, but Lane might have a little bit more of an aggressive start. Okay, he's going to see a deep blue here. And pass. He could have played the horn there, but it's probably best not to just leave it hanging. So that's a good choice to hold it. I'm gonna read Pricia here because I don't know what she actually does, or maybe that was Gertz. Okay, then he's gonna call Stone and probably Horn into his Juque here, if I remember correctly. But I could be wrong. Ah, yep. And he's gonna hit him for 4. This is where we're getting the phone out so we can help record it. But there's gonna be an overlay over top of it, so it doesn't matter. Alright, Sean's gonna recover, call another Stone. Here I was asking Lane how he produced Red Will, and it turns out that I didn't realize that Pricia enables the horn, or excuse me, Pricia allows you to filter Green Will to produce red or blue or whatever you want. And Sean has the ability of Val 1 to flash in 2-cost blue resonators, so he doesn't really have to play anything on his turn. Lane's going to call another Stone. And we'll likely see the Kinlong come down here. Now, if Sean had a Triton there, that would just be really funny to steal the Juque on the stack. But we saw his hand earlier, and he likely didn't draw a Triton. There's the Wild Child, and here he's explaining what I usually talk about when I see this card is when you draw it later in the game after you've called a few stones, it's a little bit weaker than when you can draw it and play it like turn 1 or 2. But he's gonna play it out here. Just he has Hanging Will, so might as well. And trying to get him for 4 again, but Sean's gonna be sneaky here, and Muse is gonna enter. Gerds is telling him that there's like 36 Resonators in the deck and 4 Shangri-La, so he's gonna name Resonator and hit on a Titania and block. Okay, so Juque is gonna play the Dust, and Lane's likely gonna pass turn here. Alright, Sean recovers, calls. We don't know what he has in his hand, but we know he has a Charlotte, a Gwen, a Pricia, and something else that I forgot. But here's the Gwen, and he's likely going to leave just 2 up to flash something in. Okay, he's tapping another. Okay, cutie patootie, Alice's little scout coming in. And, oh, yeah, okay, so he's going for a Titania play here. Not bad. I think that's okay. I think I saw a tiger in Lane's hand, which means he has a Sprint of the Beast Lady. And with that Pricia having precision, it's going to go to a 10. So he could just run it into the Titania if he really wanted to, and it would leave it at 2, but that seems foolish. I think we're getting dice for his Pricia here. Yeah. Gotta use Force Will die. All right, Lane is tanking a bit, but I think it's definitely reasonable because there are options. See, like here's a play that I thought he was going to go for. Oh wait, no, you can't do that because it's not a 4 Sacred Beast. I was going to say sprint into play the fight Pricia, but it's not 4 Sacred Beast. We're going to get a so he's going to give his Chin-Long target attack and hit the Titania. That's a great play. So his Chin-Long there is a 14. And then the Pricia is going to try to kill Muse, which is good because he doesn't want his big Resonators to be able to survive. Another horn comes out, which is probably good. That means he's going to set up a Pricia turn, likely. And usually you don't want to just leave him hanging because he could play Hera or something like that, but if you have one out on the board, I guess two is not bad. Because if he kills the first one, you have a second one. Attack for 2, sack the cutie patootie, draw off the trigger, and then draw 2 for his Gwen. So Sean's filling up on cards, but it looks like Lane is going to get really aggressive soon. Pitches the Bunny Maker. I think that would have been a good card in this matchup. You just have eternal blocks. Shangri-La. I'll draw a card off the trigger. I think this is a situation where Sean had 8 cards in hand, and every one of his cards drew him a card, so he had to play an Alice's Little Scout, if I'm not mistaken, just to go to 7 cards. Or Gwen, maybe. Yeah. So he had 8 cards in hand there because all of his cards drew him a card. Plus the Guinevere was drawing him cards. Yeah, see? And everything costs a million, Will. So it's not looking too great for Sean. But he's like full hand, don't care. Alright, Lane's gonna recover. Alright, so he didn't float the bonuses off of Horn, so he's just gonna call a stone because he doesn't need a judgment there. I feel like he could have judgmented, but I don't know if he had the lave for backup. Or to give her swiftness, because he doesn't have a red resonator. We're gonna see a double horn tap for a Chuan Yu, right? That's his name? Yeah. Bounce. Ooh, Yuane. So an interesting ability with Yuane, which I think Lane is elaborating on here because it's the first time he played it, is that there we go. His ruler is a beast, so Yuane will always have at least one buff, and he'll be able to get the swiftness and first strike, I believe. And because his wild child is a beast as well, it's going to have 2 buffs, so it's a 10-10. And we're going to see Yuane dive in there. I'm about to dive in. Sorry. And Qinlong is going to dive in as well. Oh, he's going to pump, but yeah, he doesn't pump himself. We're going to see Pricia take out the Gwen. I don't know if that's a great idea. I think he should have just went face. Doesn't really matter in the end, but I think he should have just went face. Alright, Sean's going to recover. Go to 5. Still not get green. I don't know if that matters because I think Vefthorfnir, excuse me. I keep calling him Vidolfinir. Vefthorfnir is the only green resonator, and that's not really that great here. Sean's at 8 cards again. All right, Sean's tanking because I think he's looking down the barrel right now, and he's really struggling to find a way out. Okay, so I could see an Adam Bradley play off the Triton here. So he'll probably take the Wayne. Yeah, I'll take the Wayne. I think he probably could have taken the Qinlong there and got or Qinglong, Qinglong. I don't know how to pronounce these names. I don't speak Chinese, so I'm not very good at it. But I make it up as I go. Um, but I think he should have taken the Qinglong there because he could have produced a will off of that and been able to play another resonator. But instead, he's going to take the Yuan, sack it, and deal 4 to something, and draw off the Triton dying. Play a Alice Little Scout. Yeah, maybe he should have floated the will. I guess Yuan was the biggest threat out of them, though. Adam can just block it, so who cares? Alright, and here we see the Lave drop. And Lane is going to flip. And Pricia is quite large right now. He didn't float the horns, but I don't think it matters because she is flying and he doesn't have any flying blockers due to him having a wind resonator. Even if he did have flying blockers, all he really had to do is God's Art and grab Chuan Yu and then bounce his flyer. So that was pretty good game 1. Alright, and we're moving into game 2 here. Uh, Lane is deferring to Sean, and Sean's going to take the play. See the opener here. Alright, so it looks like he has a Titania, a Charlotte, oh, excuse me, a Titania, a Charlotte, a Vefthruffnir, Shangri-La, and a Kaguya. He's going to put down the Charlotte and Vef. I would agree with that because they're pretty good late game. Titania can combo with the Kaguya well, and the Shangri-La is going to buff everything in the process. So, that's likely what he's saying. I'm just trying to imagine. Lane's looking at a very Sacred Beastie hand. So he's got Pricia turn 1, which is what he's saying. That middle card is a Exploding Flame Pricia. It's the promo. I couldn't recognize it at first. But I think he's gonna put down. Yeah, he's gonna put down the other beasts because he has a 1 through 3 curve in his hand already, and it's a little bit more aggressive than those guys. So I don't think it's that great. I think he took the right choice though. We got a Gwen and a Pricia coming back up for Sean, which is only good because he's got Gwen now for the turn 1 if he sees that redstone, and that works well with Kaguya to be able to filter his draws. So Lane draws another Pricia and a Horn, which is good because that means that he has the option of going Pricia, Call Stone, play a Horn into Zhuan Yu. I don't know its name. I'm sorry. The red one, and have a really good turn 1. So there's the Pricia energized out. Calls his stone. Gets his resonance trigger. And plays the horn. Plays the red dude. Ping. It's not going to be effective because he's just going to hit him for 4 and not block, and that's a-okay. That's a great turn 1. Sean's going to recover, call his stone, and likely pass. Just, you have instant speed, 2 drops, so it's more worth it to probably do that. We could also see the Shangri-La come out. That look good. Yeah, I don't know if eating Gwen is that great right now. I think because you have Kaguya in hand, you should keep it and just maintain the value off of sacking tokens. But he might just eat it to get a little bit card filter in the early. I guess seeing some different 2-drops is probably better. He might not want Kaguya right now. Oh, pitch Charlotte. Okay, that's pretty good. She's terrible in this matchup. He's going to call Stone, get his resonance trigger. Pricia's growing. See, turn 2, Pricia is now a Lancelot. Like, if you have her turn 1 with the Energize, she basically curves into a Lancelot. But it's like, if you play her on turn 2, she's far from it. That's a 6 coming in. Sean's going to take. and 4. Juque, that's his name, I remembered. And Sean's going to end step to Kaguya. Now, because of the way Summoning Sickness works, he can now rest on his before his recovery, create a bunny, or rabbit, I should say. Uh, and then recover, and he has the ability to still make another rabbit this turn if he so chooses. And we'll likely see that be the play, because we saw that Titania in his opening hand, and he wants that on board. Alright, and there's the third resonator he needs, and it just so happens to be something that can kill his. So we'll see Slayer Pricia come out here, and she'll deal with the Juque. We're going to see another token come out. And yep, tap 3 resonators, reduce her cost by 6, and play her for 1 blue. So now Titania is developed on the board. He's got 3/3 rabbit tokens instead of 1/1s. And we know he has that Shangri-La in hand as well. So he's going to have some pretty big rabbits. Oh. Lane's head is looking quite awful. I think he does actually call Abe deeply here too. Yeah. Ugh. So Lane's hand is looking very, very out of shape at the moment. This Pricia is beefy though. But yeah, triple exploding flame Pricia plus horn and a call to action is not great. Alright, and Lane is tanking a bit, but he doesn't really have a play. He's just trying to figure out a way to cycle his draws. Doesn't want to burn the call to action, but he has to. And it looks like he, yeah. It's a playable card though, so you can kill a token, but it's not really what he wanted. Thinking he was looking for, actually, what really gets you there, to be honest. So yeah, he'll kill a token by bouncing it with the Chuan Yu. I think this one's Chuan Yu. Again, I'm not very good at it. And yeah, Sean's just looking at his Kaguya there. She does say that the rabbits get a +1/+1 if you control a moon, but I don't believe there's any very strong moons to be playing with this deck unless you want to do the white and play the white moon that is featured in like what you would see in like a Kaguya green-white deck. And yeah, we're gonna see a Shangri-La come out here. So that's a card draw. I believe Sean has like 6 cards in hand at this point, so he does have the +2/+2. So his rabbits are 5/5s now. His Titanias are 14s. And his Kaguya is a 7/7 too. Sadly, nothing on the ground though is big enough to get in because that Pricia is an 8/8. So Sean's gonna go over the top for 14. Yeah, I don't. It's jeez. Yeah, Lane is not hitting the best draws this game actually. I think that might be a product, or that might be the product of Sean's benefits. Product? What am I saying? That might be the cause of Sean's winning. But Sean is playing a pretty tight game too, so I can't deny that. Alright, so we're gonna see a sprint here. He's trying to accomplish something similar to what he did last turn, or last game, excuse me. But he doesn't have the call to action to give like target attack, which would be ideal. So he's gonna swing into the Titania and get chomped, which seems like the right play. And he's gonna swing 11 at face, I think, and we're gonna get a rabbit block again. So it looks like the rabbits are doing a lot of work here as far as keeping him healthy. And then we're going to see another one come out. So it looks like Sean's developing into a really, really good board right now. And another interesting side note is that even though he's playing all these tokens, and Yuwain, which is one of the cards Lane is playing, is very good at dealing with decks that develop wide, is that Sean has the buffs from Titania and Shangri-La to keep them alive. So the outs are slimming for Lane here, and Sean is looking healthier and healthier every turn. Alright, so we've got a 14 Titania coming in. 7, 7. So it looks like Lane's just going to take 28 here and die. So, yeah, Sean didn't really do math until that point. But it looks like it's pretty nice to just look down at your board and say, oh, I have you. Alright, and Lane looks like he's going to show another hand here that's not too good. He's got a 5-drop. He's got a nice little 1-3 curve with the Juquei, and if he sees a horn, it changes his curve up a bit to be a little nicer. But I could see him just as easily pitching the 3 and 5. Yep. So he's going to go looking for some more low drops. Sean is going to show a Thrufnir in his hand. He's got a nice little curve. He's got an Adam Browley and a Pricia. But he puts the Pricia back. Interesting. I think he should have kept Pricia. Oh, a Ratatasker and another Survivor. So he's got Beasts to make a bunch of 6/6s with the Survivors, the ability to quick cast them in, and also the ability to protect them at instant, or protect them from sorcery speed removal. So he drew another Viftrufnir, which I guess is Karma, but he drew the Kaguya as well, which is very nice because he's got Adam Browley in hand, and it's good to have a recurable source of tokens or resonators in general to be able to sacrifice to Adam to really get value out of it. So Sean's going to call a redstone here and lead off with a scout and pass. Lane's likely just going to play his Juquei, kill the scout, and hit, which is nice. But in the same right, you could just develop 2 Survivors of Sisei here and go in with the Ratatasker. So we're going to see Lane play a Survivors and swing 2 with Rat. I don't think I would throw the scout in front of this. There's not really a point. Yeah. Oh, he should have flashed in the other Survivor and done 4. Well, he can still play it at any point, so definitely still not dead. Yeah, so end step, Lane's going to flash in another Survivor, and the 6/6s are real here. We've got Master Hand coming with the right side to fix Sean's deck. Alright, so Lane's going to call his 3rd stone. He's got great will right now, good filtering. And we'll see a horn come out. That'll allow him to play his beasts a little bit more aggressively. And the Juquei to kill the Alice Little Scout, which is a good play. So Lane has 16 on board here, 18 on board. So we're going to probably see just go into the red zone with everybody. That's 10. Or 4 and then 6, that's 10, 14, 16. And we'll see the 18th come in here, put Sean down to 20. Whew. Alright, so Sean can counter-develop into a Titania here, which wouldn't be too bad, but we'll see what he elects to do. He could have just as easily drawn a Triton as well, to steal the Juque and kill the rat. So he's going to call another bunny. Call a bunny, excuse me. Summon another rabbit resonator. And he will play the Gwen, and I think he's going to develop a Titania. There we go. Okay, cool. So he's got protection against Ywain now, to some effect, which is nice. Oh, and then we're going to see, yep, okay. We're going to see the Adam Browley come in here, and he's going to try to ping the Juque by banishing a Guinevere, and then he's going to draw a card off of the rabbit. So we're going to see... so he activated Pricia's ability to pump the Juque. And we'll probably see another Adam Browley here, because that's just what you do. Yep, okay. So we'll see another Adam Browley, sacrificing a Gwen and a token again. These are some of the plays that just really blow my mind with this deck, because when you just have a complete, like you just have ease of resource for these Adam Browleys. So when you develop the Titania, it's not like you're leaving yourself completely open, because then you play Adam Browleys afterwards, and you now have untapped 8/10s. So Lane is now like, what the heck just happened? You just played a Kaguya and then developed 3 more dudes on the board that are all bigger than mine. Lane's gonna attack in for 6. See what he probably has shenanigans. He's gotta. Either that or it's a bluff. Okay, so I guess he miscalculated with his Pricia ability. Alright, so we're gonna see another 6 come across. What does he have this time? Is he trying to just bait like a Ywain to sweep him up? I don't understand. Another survivor. Call to action. And he's probably going to attack an Adam Browley and or base. So he's kind of using the deer as some burn spells, realistically, which isn't bad. It leaves Sean at a low enough life total that just a few more burn will answer it. Yeah, and having Pricias does make that a little bit more volatile too. I would just attack face. Yeah. Get the block. And then attack for 4 with Rat and put him at 5. And now he's in range of 1 Pricia. But what does Sean have on board? He has 8, 16, 28. Sean has 33 on board right now. So if he can muster 7, that's game. Like, just playing double Shangri-La here would be game. Shangri-La? Oh wait, maybe one Shangri-La is game actually, because he gets everything +2, and that means that's 8 more. So yeah, that's game. And I think he played the extra one, and I think I go back and I'm telling him like 1 would be enough. Yeah, I gotta be nosy and do that. But yeah, so Sean took it there. That was a very very well played game. I think both players had a good line in mind, and they were trying to enact it. I think that was a good setup by Lane, though, trying to go into the Pricia and force Sean's hand to either accept it or kill him was nice. So we're gonna head into game 3 here. Typically, this is where we would jump into the sideboard. Oh wait, this is game 4. I'm losing my mind, guys. We're heading into game 4 here. So typically we would have jumped to the sideboard before the last game, but these are some recent brews, so we really haven't tried the sideboard yet. Um, we just wanted to test the Vingolf stuff. And Sean's gonna ship a card there. I think it was another scout and just draw one. And Lane's gonna have 2 Sacred Beasts in his hand, so he's probably gonna put the blue one back and 2 Perseus Call to Action, so we'll put one of them back as well. I think keeping 2 3-drops might be an error there, but I could be mistaken. I think Lane has a plan in mind. Sean has a Titania, a Scout, a Gwen, a Shangri-La, and an Adam. So he's got a lot of early game draw power to get to his other stuff. Drew another Yuane, I believe that is, and a Juque. So he's got a decent curve. I think he did make a mistake by keeping too high on the curve, but drawing a horn here could really help him in that aspect. We'll see a pass. Sean's gonna call. And play a Gwen. I think that's a great play, because that leads into a Scout next turn, or a Shangri-La, depending on how you want to develop. And we'll see a Pricia here off the top, which is not bad. Make Gwen eat herself, draw 2. And we'll likely see him pitch one of the cards you drew, because the rest of his hand was gas. Yep, pitch a Muse, draw off the call to action on the Pricia, and he's probably going to get in there for 4. And he drew the horn, not bad. So it's a little late as far as when he wanted to curve out, because I guess playing an 8-8 here might have been a little better. Really depends, because Sean could have drawn a lot of cards next turn. Alright, so we're just going to see a pass. Sean's going to hold up his Valentino 1.0 ability. Lane's going to call a stone. And see that Yuane out. So I guess keeping high on the curve did pay off a little bit here for him. So he got 3-drop into 3-drop into 3-drop. So he's got a lot of gas. It's going to get a buff from his ruler as well as the other Pricia on board, and Yuane is going to get in there for 10. And Lane is going to elect to leave Pricia back on the blocks. I think he could have snuck in the extra 4 there, to be honest. Oh, no, never mind. There we go. That was safe to keep it back. Okay, so you see him reveal an Adam Rally there. So he has 2 Adams in hand now. Titania, Shangri-La, Alice, Little Scout, and a couple of unknowns. Meanwhile, Lane's sitting on a Juque, another Yuane, and I don't know what else. So we're going to see the Shangri-La come out. He's going to draw a card off of that. This Muse getting big is going to be pretty annoying for Lane, because that just means that Sean's rabbits are really not going to have much of a way to die, nor are many of his resonators, actually. We're going to see an untap here, calling a stone, and I mean, I wouldn't be opposed. I mean, I don't think he would be opposed to playing another Yuane here, to be honest. It's not a bad play. Yeah, he goes for it. So it's 2 10-10s on the board right now. And we'll see him develop a Juque as well. Oh, very nice. So he's going to deal 2 to it, but it doesn't die because it's got a buff from Shangri-La, actually. Never mind. He should have played the maybe, if well, it depends. If you want to draw a card, he could have played the Pinger first and then played the Kinlong, but it's likely that he probably could have just killed the scout and got it in there for 10. So we're going to see a block on the Pricia. Pricia's going to die. Wayne's going to get smaller. Going to go in for 8. And go for 8 again. But there's another Shangri-La coming out. And he's going to go for a Triton, steal you, Wayne. He's likely going to play one of the Adam Browlies he has in hand here to really manipulate that Triton ability. We'll see a 8-10 Muse going in for that Uwain, the other one, and then the Adam Browley is going to go over his other Uwain. So it looks like Sean has counter developed really hard here. He completely board White Plane and has now developed 2 Shangri-Las on the board. So many of his Resonators are going to be big. And Sean's going to pitch down to 7 at the end of his turn and pass. So just based on the tempo of this game, that the swing of that turn really tells me that Sean's got a good footing now. Lane looks like he's still gripping not the cards he needs. He needs to see those Pricias and some call to actions or sprints or something to get his gas going. So it looks like he's going to play a backside Flipsia here. Yep. So he's going to try to do some shenanigans with blocks and taking other Resonators and such. But I think if Sean has another Triton in hand, he can combo that with the other Adam Browley he has to stave that off. See another horn here. And Sean's going to play another Shangri-La. Oh my goodness. The Sean's Resonators are massive right now. Yep, there we go. Here's the Triton. Take his Pricia, sack it to an Adam Browley. Will likely play. Okay, so he's going to even develop harder and play Titania, excuse me, with some of the Resonators, or the Resonator that he took off of Lane. And then, yeah, there we see the Adam Browley over Lane's Resonator and his own Triton. Now they're both blue, so he's only going to draw 1, but it doesn't really matter because he's killed Lane's Resonator in the process and avoided getting one of his stolen. So we'll see the active Adam Browley come in for, I believe that's 16? 14. 2, 2, 2, that's 6 plus 8 plus 6. Yeah, 14. Okay. We'll see Lane call Stone. So he's sitting on what looks like 4 cards in hand. Oh, maybe 3. So we know one of them is Juque. He still has that. I see a Pricia in his hand now. It's a turn late, but, you know. Yeah, Lane realizes that his horns don't tap for colors. Plays a Juque. It's probably just a body to jump in front of stuff because Sean's threatening a lot of damage. And we're going to see that Pricia. And we'll likely just see him hold back. Oh yeah, I remember what happens this last turn. Alright, and we're going to go into Sean's last turn because, as you can see, Sean's got a lot of damage on board. And if you've noticed anything with the style of play he's doing with the Tritons and Adam Browleys, you probably expect what's coming next. But Sean's going to revel in it a bit here. And we're just reading Val to make sure she calls a stone on enter, and she does. So he's going to judgment his Valentina 1, trigger her enter ability, call stone. And Sean's going to take control of Lane's Resonator with Valentina's God's Art, actually. And I'm probably gonna let the recording take it away for the end here because it was actually not bad quality at the end. So I figured you guys would enjoy hearing our little outro. So Sean's whittling him down, hits him with a big ol' atom, and we'll see what happens after that.
Sean's go for style points.
7. Put you to 1.
Jeez. Yes! Go with his own Pricia! Style points. That is max style.
I just got steezed on and I'm not okay with that. Oh, God. Good games, man.